Okay, Rams, for your homework tonight, I have 7 problems here, and I'm going to walk you through each one, and you're welcome to fast forward or pause or go back and look for help for any of these that you need, but I do expect every one of them to have all the work and your explanation before you come to class, okay? Number 1 says, explain your steps and how to find the value of 2 to the 3rd power times 3 to the 2nd power times 5. Now, and then show the work. Okay, well, I'm going to show the work first. Well, I'm going to explain it, but you have to put it into words, okay? 2 to the 2nd power means that there are 2 2's. 3 to the 2nd power means that there are 2 3's. That exponent tells me how many of this base number there are, okay? So I'm going to multiply, is my pen not going to work? 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. Okay, now your explanation has got to include how you know how many numbers to use here, okay? 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is, 9, times 5. 4 times 9 times 5. You could do this a couple of different ways. I think of 5 times 4 is 20 times 9. Again, that's the commutative property that says I can move my numbers around. So 20 times 9, 2 times 9 is 18, so 20 times 9 is 180. Now, your explanation has got to tell me about all of your steps, okay? Now, if you chose a different order to multiply these in, that's okay, as long as your work is there. Number 2, explain. So you're going to have to put it into words here and show how to use the order of operations to simplify this expression. Okay, I know that my order of operations rules say I need to do what's in parentheses first, but I have 2 steps inside my parentheses here. So I have to do order of operations within order of operations. So I have dividing and adding, and of those 2, I do dividing first. So 18 divided by 3 is 6 plus 6 times 4. Okay, now I still have parentheses to work on. So 6 plus 6 is 12 times 4, and 4 times 12 is 48. Now, don't forget to put it into words and explain all of your steps there, okay? Number 3, use the distributive property to write an expression equivalent to 3 times x plus 2. Now remember that distributive property says I'm going to have to multiply 3 times everything inside the parentheses. That means 3 times x plus, that plus is important, 3 times 2. Okay, you could do that. You could also simplify it and say 3x plus 6. Okay, you could do this a couple different ways, but either one of these would be okay. You could leave that apart, or you could go ahead and combine them. They're all the same thing. All 3 of these are the exact same thing. Okay, but I want you to use the rules that explain your distributive property. If you're not sure how to explain it, you can think back to how I explained in class. You know, suppose I bring cupcakes to distribute to the class. I can't just share them with the closest person to me. I have to share them with everybody. All right, next. Explain, that means give me sentences, how you know which step should be performed first. Okay, well remember, we have our rules here that say parentheses, exponents, and then multiply or divide, and then add or subtract. Okay, so I do not have any parentheses. I do not have any exponents. So now I have multiply and divide, and I have to find the one that's on the left. Okay, so the first one I see here is that. So that is my first step, is that the multiplication, because it is the first one between the multiplication and the division, that's on the left. Okay, put that into your words. Okay, number 5. Show how to use a factor tree to find the prime factorization of 240. Don't forget the exponents. Okay, so 240. There are a lot of factor pairs you could choose here. I would say I like that because it ends in a 0, I choose 24 times 10. Now, you can choose any pair of numbers that multiply to give me 240, okay? 24, I say 8 and times 3, because I know 3 has a prime number. 8 is made up of 4 times 2, and 4 is made up of another 2 times 2. Okay, but I'm not done because this 10 was not finished, right? So I have a 2 times 5 over here. Now, what we have to look at now is thinking about your exponents and writing out your answer. So I have 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Times 2, times 2, times 2, times a 3, times a 5. Now remember, 1, 2, 3, 4 2's means it is 2 to the 4th power times 3 times 5. Now remember to put those in numerical order here, the 2 and then the 3 and then the 5. But I want you to use your sentences to explain how you do that. Explain your steps here, okay? Tell me about the multiplication facts, okay? Number 6, we're almost done. Explain and show all the steps. What is the value of this expression? All right, well, I have parentheses. I have addition and division and then another division. But be careful. This is not every number up there divided by 2. That is like a big grouping symbol on top where everything together, when I simplify it, then I divide by 2, okay? So first thing I would do is inside the parentheses up here on top. So 12 plus 8 is 20. Okay, and then I'm going to put divided by 5 over negative 2. Okay, so this is still like it's all grouped here on top. Okay, so now I still have to simplify that grouping first. So 20 divided by 5 is going to be 4 divided by negative 2. Well, I know that 4 divided by 2 is 2. And I know there's a rule that says when I'm dividing and one's positive and one's negative, if the signs are opposite, my answer is negative. There we go. Uh-oh, did it freeze? Okay. Last one, and this is my favorite one. Okay, look at these expressions. Which of these is not equivalent to the other expressions in the list? I'm sorry, you guys, I'm still sniffly. Okay, so 6x plus 12. That is about as simple as it gets. You cannot combine anything there at all. Okay, so let's try the next one. 4x plus 4. Oh, I think it's supposed to be, oh no, times 3 plus 3x. Actually, I think that might be a typo here. Sorry. That is supposed to be 2x. 2x, I'm sorry. I'll fix it before I make your copies. Okay, 2x. All right. So, I can combine my 4x's and 2x's and get 6x's. 4 times 3, though, is 12. It's a little bit different way of looking at that, right? Okay, then we have, let me see if it'll zoom out a little bit. Not while it's recording, sorry. Okay, 8x plus 10 minus 2x minus 2. Okay, I combine my x's, so 8x's minus 2x's, that's 6x's. But now we have 10 minus 2. Uh-oh, 10 minus 2 is 8. I have to pay close attention to that subtraction sign there, okay? That changes it. So that is not the same. And the last one, so I can make a little room for it here, says 5x plus 20 minus 8 plus x. Okay, well, 5x's plus 1x is 6x's, and 20 minus 8 is 12. So the one that is not equivalent is this one here, because of that minus 2 made it an 8, not a 12. Okay? So the one that is not equivalent here is this third one. But you have to explain in words, how do you know what happened with each of these? Other than my typo, sorry. What happened with each of those? All right?